At it again with another video. Thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate it. So recently, there's been a realignment in college football, an entire purge of the Pac-12. I mean, the Big Ten and the Big 12 just basically purged the Pac-12, and basically the Pac-12 doesn't even exist anymore. It's essentially the Pac-4. We're going to go through it. I don't talk a whole lot about sports recently on my channel, but if you've been with me long enough, you know that I talk about sports. I try and diversify my content. I talk about sports every once in a while. I talk about politics. I've also done movie reviews, done music reviews. I'm trying to kind of diversify my content and kind of talk about different things that I want to discuss. And in this video, we are talking about basically the Pac-12 doesn't exist anymore. It's been purged. So, Pac-12, we have what is known as Power 5 conferences. You have the Pac-12, you have Big 10, Big 12, you have the SEC and the ACC. And technically the Big 10 now has 18, if I understand that correctly. If we look at the map, the Big Ten was just specifically focused in Midwest. You had Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa, Washington, Northwestern, Illinois, Purdue, IU. We have two Michigans, Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State, Maryland, and Rutgers. Then there was a realignment. We had Texas and Oklahoma join the SEC, which then prompted UCLA and USC to go to the Big Ten, and then ultimately joining the UCLA and USC in the Big Ten is Washington and Oregon. Most of the four corner states, you have Arizona State, Utah, you had Colorado, got Deion Sanders as the coach of their football program, join the Big Ten, the Big 12. It's hard to kind of keep these names straight anymore because the Big Ten has 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then I think the Big 12 has 16, if I'm not mistaken. And the Pac-12 does not have 12 teams anymore. It has 4. They got gutted. The Pac-12 essentially doesn't exist. We need to write a eulogy for Pac-12. Number of teams, it had 12. That's why it's called the Pac-12, Pacific 12. And now they have 4. So the 4 remaining. So Arizona went to, looks like Big 12. Arizona State followed them. Cal is one of the 4 that remains. There, it is up in the air what they decide to do. There's rumors that Cal and Stanford joins the Big Ten, but that is unknown at this point. UCLA and where's USC? There's USC right there. Join the Big Ten. Utah, Big 12. Washington joined Big 10. So yeah, the departing for the Big 12, we look at what Big 12 has. So they did have 14, but now they have 16 because you added, well, technically they lose 2. So you lose Oklahoma, you lose Texas to the SEC, but then you gain the four corners universities from Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah. So they have 14. They will be down to 12 when Texas and Oklahoma leave, but then they'll be shot up to 16 when you add 4 from the Pac-12. So this is the current map of the Big Ten, which does not have 10 teams. It has 18. Big 12 down here will have 16. And then, at its current rate, technically has 18. So technically we have 2 18-team conferences, but once Oklahoma and Texas move over to the SEC, then the numbers are, again, a little weird. So originally it was just UCLA and USC, moved to the Big Ten, and then ultimately Washington and Oregon joined. Will Stanford and Cal join? I don't know. I think it would be a smart idea for them. You basically, what Big Ten is now is a coast to coast conference. You got Washington, Oregon, UCLA, USC on the West Coast, predominantly here in the Midwest, and then you also got Rutgers and Maryland. So basically, in terms of TV markets, you got Southern California TV market, Oregon, Washington. You got big cities like Twin Cities. You got Madison, Milwaukee. You got the big Chicago metro media market. Michigan, Detroit market. You got Ohio State. Got a big following, and then you can also Penn State has a considerable following in both Pittsburgh market, Philly market. Rutgers, you can kind of tap into that New York City market. And then Maryland can also tap into that Baltimore, Washington, D.C. media metro market. So, Big 12 is currently going to be 16. And then we have the Big 10 is going to be technically the Big 18. And the Pac-12, rest in peace, and ultimately they are the Pac-4. What they will do, I don't know. Probably, effectively, they're dead at this point, which is sad to say. But the only way that they could potentially survive is if they join with the Mountain West. There's 11 teams in the Mountain West. You have San Jose State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Nevada, UNLV, Boise State, Utah State, Colorado, we got Air Force, Colorado State, Wyoming, and New Mexico. So there are 4 left in the Pac-12. Could Oregon, Washington State, Washington State join? Yeah, they could. I think that would be smart on them. Stanford and Cal kind of have they're in the Bay Area. I think for them, joining the Big Ten would be better off in their best interest, because you got Cal and Berkeley, you got Stanford in the Bay Area. I think this could be beneficial to join the Big Ten because there's more money there than there is in the Mountain West. But Stanford could also go independent. They can choose to do that. But yeah, RIP to the Pac-12 because they got purged, which is unfortunate because you had Power 5 conferences. Now we're down to Power 4, and the ACC is looking like there's some instability there, so it could potentially go down to Power 3. Have Big 12, Big 10, and SEC. But ACC, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to take some time. There's what's known as a grant of rights, which I'm not entirely sure how that functions with their TV contract, but that's pretty much the only thing holding the ACC together at this point. So RIP to the Pac-12, currently Pac-4, and honestly the only way that they could then survive is probably joining the Mountain West and merging. So with that being said, that's the end of the video, and I will see you in the next one. Deuces.